Let me officially welcome every single one of you at this webinar for the Santa Barbara City College Promise called Sbcc Promise Night on today, February 10th, 2021. Let me give you a quick overview of what the Sbcc Promise is all about. The Santa Barbara City College Foundation launched the Sbcc Promise in the fall of 2016. Yes, that is correct. You heard right. Providing all local high school graduates with the opportunity to attend Santa Barbara City College full-time, free of charge for up to 2 years. We believe in the foundation and at Santa Barbara City College that by removing these financial barriers, the Sbcc Promise is making our communities highly ranked college fully accessible to all local students who are willing to make the necessary commitments. And as a reminder, I want to let you all know that the Sbcc Promise relies entirely on private donations. Now I would like to move forward and give you our first presenter of tonight, which is Mary Lou from the Enrollment Services at Santa Barbara City College. She will touch on your path to success.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Good afternoon, good evening, buenas tardes. Thank you for joining us. As Sergio said, my name is Mary Lou Huerta. I am one of the team members on the Enrollment Services team. So some of you guys may have started to meet me at some of your high school events, whether it's your application workshop or maybe some of the monthly visits. Thank you so much for being here. I'm really looking forward to working with each and every one of you. So really exciting night. Once again, thanks for joining us. If you're having dinner, enjoy. Let's go ahead and start this presentation. So why Sbcc? I mean, really, we are one of the most amazing and best community colleges really in the nation. So right away, you guys have one of the best community colleges in the nation right in your backyard, whether you're a Dos Pueblos high school student or you're, just down the 101 in Carpinteria. You really do have one of the best community colleges right in your backyard. As Sergio said, and he's going to go a little more into this, but one of the great programs that's offered to all of you students is the Sbcc Promise. I'm going to let him go a little more into this, but definitely want you guys to keep that program in mind. We also offer over 80 academic majors. So there's definitely a major that that you'll be able to find or relate to, whether it's business, communications, engineering, biology, or if you're a student like me and really was drawn to education or child development, we have a program for you. So we have a major. I don't want you to think that if that's not being displayed on this screen, that you're not going to find a major for you, because we'll make sure we find something that's compatible for you. We also have amazing student support programs. Some of you guys may have started to hear about these programs. I am definitely a product of many of these programs. If it wasn't for these programs, I would not be the individual I am today. I would not be able to have gone through my education. So we're going to start off with EOPS. EOPS stands for Extended Opportunities Programs and Services. It is a state-funded program, so you do need to qualify and apply for the program. But I definitely encourage for all of our students to apply, to meet with advisors. Don't make those decisions upon yourself, whether you're eligible or not for the programs. We want students to make sure they're having access to all these programs. So check in with an advisor. All these services are now virtually available to you, so that's really nice. You can just open that computer or turn on that cell phone of yours and go onto our website and start meeting with these people. They also host the Running Start program. That's going to be a summer bridge program. It's an amazing program. It's a 6-week program. It takes place summer session 2. You do get paid to be in the program as well. So that's like a huge bonus right there, right? You get paid to go to school. What more do you guys want? And then we also have our DSPS program. So for students who currently have an IEP, a 504, or maybe if you were a student like me who didn't ever really understand what was going on up there in that little brain of mine, but I knew that I needed some additional support. I ended up getting tested when I was at Sbcc. It was with the support of DSPS that I really was able to get all the accommodations to help me in my education and pursue all of my academic goals. So if you do have a current IEP or a 504, please get in contact with the DSPS office or with Sergio or with myself, and we will definitely put you in contact with people that can help advocate for you and really get you all of the resources. Now, if you're a STEM major, right? So science, technology, engineering, or math, you guys are wizards to me. You guys are amazing. But if you are a STEM major, we definitely want to get you all the resources. They do have tutoring centers, they have counselors, they have advisors. You literally have a team of people that will support you and guide you throughout your journey at SBCC. And then study abroad. Now, I know for some students, the thought of possibly studying abroad seems really far away, right? It's not something that my family could afford, or it's not something I've ever thought of. I don't want students to feel like that. I'm a first generation, very low income family. I come from a very low income family. And I remember one summer, I told my family, like, I want to do this. I want to study abroad. I'm going to make this happen. I will do whatever it takes. And I literally did whatever it took. I was having yard sales on the weekends. I was recycling. I was doing anything possible. I applied for scholarships. So I want you guys to know we have so many resources on our campus. We have scholarships that will actually pay for your entire experience through the study abroad department. So we definitely want you guys to have really the best experience at SBCC. And like I said, you do have a team of people that want to support you, advocate you, and really give you that full-hearted experience at SBCC. Honors programs. If you're a student currently taking honors classes, you want to continue that. Amazing. Let's get you into those honors courses. Now, you can't just register for those courses, right? You actually need to apply for the program. So if you're not quite sure how to do that, guess what? You have me. I will help you. I will support you. And I will make sure you get your items taken care of. You just need to contact us and reach out to us, and we will get you these resources. But if you are interested in taking math honors courses, English, psychology courses, let's check out the website. Let's learn more about the honors program and get those applications in. We also have an amazing transfer center, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about it under the transfer program. And then we also have our student equity department that really is above and beyond on our campus. They are continuing to do food pantry, so food drives every week for students. Whether you're on campus right now taking classes, don't really have that many on-campus classes, but we want to make sure that our students have food in their tummies, that they're getting nutritious meals, that they're feeling supported. So our student equity office really is an amazing department and resource on our campus. They're also hosting virtual events. They do movie nights. They're doing a bunch of stuff. So we have all of these services for you guys, and all of these things are free, you guys. You don't have to pay for any of these. So that's the best part. Our transfer programs. So one of our most popular programs is going to be TAG. What does TAG mean? TAG stands for Transfer Admission Guaranteed. So that actually allows you to be guaranteed admission into some of our most popular schools, including UCSB. So lots of students, right? Their goal is to go to UCSB. Guess what? You can come to SBCC, meet your requirements, and then tag into SBCC. You also have a center, the transfer center. You can go in there and speak with amazing counselors like Angela and Jenny Erica, and build these relationships so that you can pursue and obtain your transfer goals. Our academic counseling department. So for a lot of our incoming seniors, this is going to be a real big shift, right? From your high school counselors. Our academic counselors are really going to support you and guide you and assist you in creating these SCP. So these are your roadmaps to success, right? These are your roadmaps that are really going to tell you what courses to take while you're at SBCC. Now, they're not going to register you for your classes. That's on you, the student. That's your responsibility, but they will help you. They will support you. And then for students who want to go into it, really want to start working, and they already know where they want to go. Maybe it's a nursing student, maybe it's a cosmetology student, our marine diving program, or maybe those folks that want to go into our culinary arts program. We offer a little over 50 CTE programs. I do want to point out that if you do want to go into one of these majors or CTE programs, you do need to apply to that program as well. So in addition to submitting an SBCC application, you're going to also submit an application for this program. Now, do I expect you to remember all this information right now? No, I don't, because I know it's a whole lot of information. But guess what? At the end of my little presentation, you're going to take a picture of that contact info. You're going to reach out to us in case you have any questions or you want a copy of this presentation. I'm happy to send you my slides, but just reach out to us. On the next slide, we're going to start to cover what you need to do to be enrolled at Sbcc. So how are you going to get here? First step, you're going to apply. You're going to submit that application. If you're a student from one of our local high schools, even better. We've scheduled several application workshops. We're coming virtually to your school. We're going to help you submit these applications. Next, we're going to log into our pipeline accounts and we're going to opt into the promise. I will keep reminding you until we get to registration to make sure you're opting into the promise. Placement. We don't require students to actually take their math or English courses anymore. So what does that mean? We want to make sure that you submitted that application right. So we're going to check your placement and make sure that you've enrolled, that you've listed the correct math and English courses. And then super easy, you guys are actually going to complete online orientation all on your own. That's right, all on your own. Do you need to pay attention? Yes, you do, because guess what? You got to take a short little quiz. It's actually pretty fun. It's not that bad, but you do need to pass that quiz in order for that orientation hold to be cleared. Next, step 5, you're going to complete class planning. Now, this is your opportunity to meet with academic counselors, really learn what academic counselors do on our campus, and really start to build that relationship with that department. You're going to get a presentation. They're going to show you how to schedule classes. They're going to show you, how to meet your academic, your career goals, and then you're going to be able to register for courses. Now, you have to do all of these steps in order. You can't go from step 1 to step 5 to step 3. You've got to do them in order. So make sure you're, checking them off on that list, okay? In the next slide, we're going to go ahead and cover some important dates. Now, fall application is now open, and we've made these amazing application guides. We also have videos, and our guides are also available in Spanish. So if you want to start doing that application on your own, you are more than welcome. We would encourage you to. But you still have opportunities to join us during application workshops where representatives from the college, from our community will help you in small breakout rooms complete these applications. Summer applications are also open. These are our summer dates for this coming summer session. We're offering 2 summer sessions, and then fall does begin August 23rd, and that'll be here, guys, before you know it. On our next slide, we will cover our local high school outreach. So if I have any local high school students out there, which I hope we do, don't forget to please attend your workshops. Please make sure you guys are attending your monthly visits. Check in with your counselors and check in with me. If you don't get my contact info today, it's okay. Reach out to your high school counselor, because guess what? They get a million emails from me every week and they have my contact info. But we scheduled several workshops for you guys and several monthly visits and Friday drop-ins just for you guys to make sure that you guys are really getting all of your steps to enrollment complete. On the next slide, you guys are not alone in this. So I don't ever want you to feel like you're alone in this process. I know it's a scary process. I went through it, and I went through it all alone. I don't want you guys to go alone through this. All right. You guys have a great support network of people from our campus to our community, and you are not alone in this. We know it's a scary process. We understand. We're trying to make it as easy for you and as student-centered as possible for you. So just know you have a huge support system, and you got me for sure. If you want to contact us, take a picture of this slide. I really want to encourage you. I'll smile so I don't look all weird on there. But take a picture of this. We are available via phone. If you feel more comfortable and you're just so tired of being on a computer and Zooming and doing chat, give us a call and we will help you over the phone. We're also available via chat. So if you're like, I don't want to be talking to people, I don't want to see anybody, send us a quick little chat. But you can also email us. You can contact our general info line, or you can contact that email and ask for me specifically. But we are here to support you guys. All you guys need to do is your part and really asking us for help. All right. Thank you guys so much for having me. Thank you, Sergio.
Yeah, thank you, Marilu, for explaining all students need to know about how to register or how to even start with the steps to enroll at Santa Barbara City College. Now, let's move forward with our next presenter from Santa Barbara, California Student Opportunity and Access Program, known also as CalSOAP of Santa Barbara. And with us today, we have Evelyn.
Yes, Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Sergio and Sbcc for inviting me today. Like Sergio mentioned, my name is Evelyn Rojas, and I am here representing CalSoap. So I will be taking this time to talk about who we are, what we do, our services. So as you can see, CalSoap, our mission is to make college a reality for everyone across California. So our number one goal is to increase the accessibility of higher education opportunities in low income, first generation, and or underrepresented communities. So how we do that exactly? We host free workshops, events that inform and advise, expose students and their families to financial aid, to scholarships, or any other academic resource that would help them succeed. So how exactly do we do that? Um, we have a wonderful team that consists of a director, three coordinators, some peer advisors, tutors, and we all branch out to help the community and uphold our values. So where are we exactly? In the next slide, you will see that we are actually everywhere. So we are located in to after school sites like St. George in Isla Vista, all the way to SB PAO. We are also partners with universities and college like SBCC, and we're also in community organizations like the Housing Authority of Santa Barbara. Uh, so, like I mentioned, we offer advisement to students in college applications, scholarship, financial aid. Everything is free. So the financial aid services is our Cash for College workshops that we host every Wednesday. I am a college peer advisor, which means that I assist students that are interested in pursuing higher education. So I meet with seniors usually and help them with their college applications, with their FAFSA, California Dream Act, or any other scholarship they may have. And I actually started as a tutor. So we have tutors from universities that go into classrooms all over Santa Barbara and Carpinteria, and they either help the teacher during classrooms or after school. Tutors are also available for one-on-one sessions with the students if they need it. So with that, I would like to invite y'all to our next event. Like I mentioned, our Cash for College workshop is our financial aid workshop that we host, and we have one-on-one sessions with mentors and students to complete and answer any questions they may have on FAFSA or California Dream Act. We host these every Wednesday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And the reason this is so crucial, especially now, is because the hard deadline of March 2nd is coming up. So if you haven't completed your FAFSA, please contact me. In the next slide, you will see that you could contact us at calsoapsb.org, or you can send us an email at calsoap805 at calsoapsb.org. We are located at Santa Barbara Junior High, but since we're working virtually from home right now, you could give us a call. Our phone number is 805-730-7373. I will also be leaving my personal contact information if you would like to contact me directly, or you have any other questions. Thank you. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Evelyn, for providing us with this information from CalSoap Santa Barbara. And now we move forward with our Scholarship Foundation of Santa Barbara. And with us today, we have Hanali.
Hello, thank you so much, Sergio. Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Hannalie Tapia Palacios. I am a program advisor for the Scholarship Foundation of Santa Barbara. So if you don't know who we are a local nonprofit that helps students throughout Santa Barbara County, so all the way from Santa Maria down to Carp and anywhere in between. We are a local nonprofit that also help you navigate the financial aid process, but we also provide scholarships as well. So in the last 58 years, we've awarded $130 million to 53,000 students. And in 2020 alone, even though we had the pandemic not on our side, we still were able to award $6 million to 1,814 students. So when applying to our scholarship, these are the things to consider. So we do have 4 eligibility requirements. So if you want a scholarship from us, you have to meet all 4 requirements. First and foremost, we ask that you have attended a Santa Barbara County school for at least 4 years between the grades of 7th and 12th grade. They do not have to be consecutive, but it does have to equal to 4 years. We ask that you have graduated from a Santa Barbara County high school of that academic year, so whatever academic year you're going to be applying to. And then, of course, we ask that you attend full-time as either an undergraduate, vocational, or graduate student. I want to emphasize the graduate student. So we have students that, are great with the technical program and are done there. However, if you want to continue your education and, just truly reach your educational goals, just know we're here to help you even in graduate school. So keep that on the back of your mind. And then last, but just as important, we do ask that you be a U.S. citizen, permanent resident, or AB 540 eligible. So much like every other application, our application is all online. So if you go to our website at www.sbscholarship.org, you'll find our application under the Apply tab, as you can see in the picture below. Our application does open, October 15th every single year. That does not change. And if it does, you can blame me, but it should never change. It always opens October 15th. So always mark that in your calendar. It's going to be a crucial date and you want to get it done as soon as possible so then we can help you out to the best of our abilities. So our general scholarship does open October 15th and closes January 15th. The true only requirement that we have for you is that you meet our general eligibility requirements and have at least a 2.0 GPA. In order to be considered for our scholarship, you do have to apply every single year. But let's say you don't meet our general eligibility requirements, but are still trying to figure out the financial aid process or just want to look for other scholarships, always rely on us. We're here to help. We're not just trying to advocate for our scholarship. We're trying our best to get you through college and through your educational goals to the best of your ability. We always encourage students to follow us on Instagram, on Facebook as well. That's our kind of source of reaching out to students. On Instagram, we have a lot of great resources and we'll reshare kind of other pages of information, just like we shared tonight's promise kind of Instagram post. All of that information can be found on our Instagram, or you can email us to our general info box at info@sbscholarship.org. And although we're not in the office, you can always give us a call and we will contact you through our cell phones or any other way that we can. And lastly, but just as important, you can always make an appointment with us. So here in South County, our 2 program advisors are myself and Raul, and we both speak Spanish. So if you feel more comfortable or your parents feel more comfortable speaking Spanish, we'd be more than happy to provide that service. You can contact us with our personal information. So both of those emails are provided below, or of course, leaving us a voicemail. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Hanali, for that great presentation regarding your organization, the Scholarship Foundation of Santa Barbara. Now, let's touch on the Santa Barbara City College Promise, provided to you by the Santa Barbara City College Foundation. The phrase, college is covered, we mean that, and how we explain that is through the benefits of someone participating in the Sbcc promise by covering your registration fees, your mandatory fees, your required books, required course materials, and perhaps additional benefits. We encourage students to work less, make time for your studies, and get involved on campus as much as possible. We recognize that especially this year, students may encounter several barriers that may hinder studies or even time dedicated to collegiate goals. But just know that we are here for you. And as the statement goes, college is covered. Now, let me give you an example of what we mean by required books and supplies. Now, many students who may be taking a class and they look at their syllabus and right away they see that there's 5 required books total for their classes, which may equal up to $500 to $600 for each semester. Well, we're here to alleviate that anxiety and let you know that we will cover that at the Sbcc bookstore. That's right. We collaborate with the campus bookstore at Santa Barbara City College so that you don't get that invoice. So the way it works is students place their order, we get the bill, we cover your books and supplies. A more famous example is the cosmetology program where they have a $700 kit for students to have, and it's mandatory. It's stated on their syllabus. So what we do is we cover those materials. So whether you are doing an academic or a technical program at Sbcc, we got you covered. Now let's talk about eligibility. First, I want to talk about how to sign up. In order to sign up for the Santa Barbara City College Promise, students must have these 2 qualifiers. 1, complete your secondary education within the Santa Barbara City College District. In the map, we have from Goleta down to Carpinteria. So if you go to school, let's say at Dos Pueblos High School, Carpinteria High School, Kate School, it could be either a public, private, homeschooled, or even an online school. Nowadays, most or all classes are online. And also, you must commit or enroll at Sbcc by completing all the steps to enroll, especially starting with the application process, either your first fall or spring semester immediately after high school graduation, GED completion, or the equivalent. So if you were just passing the GED, or if you graduated from adult high school, that also counts for signing up for the Sbcc Promise. Now, I just want to clarify that if you decide that you don't want to start your first semester, you can always choose to start the second semester after graduation from high school or the equivalent. I really want to touch on these important 4 requirements as a participant of the Sbcc Promise. We went over the eligibility requirements to sign up, but these are the requirements which I call guidelines for your success. Number 1 is application. Your application for financial aid must be submitted every single academic year. So if you're planning or if your student is planning to attend Sbcc starting fall 2021, please submit your financial aid application for the year 2021-2022. You can either submit the California College Promise Grant application, known as CCPG, a FAFSA, or a California Dream Act application. You must also commit to a full-time schedule. Full-time schedule in college equals 12 units or more. Not all classes will equal 3 or 4 units, so it depends on that, and you want to total up to 12. If you need an accommodation through the disability student programs and services, we have that for you. If you have a referral from your high school, or if you need those services at Sbcc, you could apply for an approved reduced unit load, and through that, we can accommodate your enrollment at Sbcc and keep you eligible for the Sbcc Promise. Now let's go to the 3rd requirement, which is meeting with an academic counselor. Many students say that it's really beneficial to meet with an academic counselor every semester, and we make that mandatory so you don't miss an opportunity to get that happen. So every fall and spring semester, students in the Sbcc Promise are required to meet with their academic counselor. And last but not least, we ask students to remain in good academic standing by the standards set forth by Santa Barbara City College. Now that I went over the requirements, I would like to stay connected with you. Connect with us. If you have any questions in the future, it could be a year from now, it could be 2 years from now, please email us at promise@sbccfoundation.org. You can reach us through our main line and leave a voicemail at 805-730-4416, or you can reach me directly at 805-730-4406. You can also seek more information about the Promise and access to videos at sbccpromise.org. Our office hours are typically Monday through Friday, 9 to 12, and from 1 to 5. Please take out your phone right now if you don't have it out and follow us on Instagram at Sbcc Promise. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce the student panel for today. Before we go into the grid, I just want to announce that I'm really grateful for these students who are current Sbcc Promise participants and previous Sbcc Promise participants, and those who have already graduated from Sbcc are now attending AUC in the state of California. With us today is Sarah Saib, Evelina Mcgary, Jennifer Nolly, Anissa Ward, Sam Hash, and Maggie Tang. So now I would like to invite our panelists to show their faces. Show yourself to the audience, and we'll get started with the panel. Now, let me go ahead and start with the first initial question for all of our panelists. I want everyone to introduce yourselves, and don't worry, I'll be calling out your name. You will be talking about who you are by saying your name, your pronouns, your college major, the college or university attending, and answer this really important question for our audience. Why did you decide to pursue higher education? So I want to begin with Sam. Tell us, introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Sam. So my pronouns are he, him, and his, and my college major is economics and accounting, and I'm in UCSB right now. The reason that I decided to pursue higher education is that, my father was in college, my mom was in college, my older sister is going to be a doctor, she's going to graduate school. So I've always sort of just seen their example and wanted to pursue it. I've wanted to be someone who's capable of making change in the world rather than, being changed by it. So I want to make my mark in society, I guess. And I know that education is the best tool to help me reach that goal.
Thank you, Sam, for introducing yourself. Now let's go with Sarah.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah. My pronouns are she, hers, and I graduated from Sbcc last year, and now I study physics at UC Berkeley. I wanted to pursue higher education because there's more job opportunities if you have a degree, but also because I like to be a student. So I wanted to study more science and math.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Let's continue with Evelina.
Hello, my name is Evelina Mcgary. I am a music performance major here at Sbcc. I decided to pursue higher education because it has been a long-time goal of mine, and also because I know there are better job opportunities.
Let's continue on with Maggie.
Hi, I'm Maggie. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. Currently, I'm at Sbcc and I'm majoring in economics, communications, and math. I'm planning on transferring to USC in the fall. I chose to pursue higher education because I see it as both a stepping stone in the professional world, as well as kind of just the tool you need to help you with critical thinking and just being a productive part of society.
Thank you, Maggie. And of course, we have Anissa.
Hi, everyone. My name's Anissa. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. I'm a double major in psychology and liberal studies, and I am currently attending Santa Barbara City College. And I decided to pursue a higher education, not only for greater job opportunities, but also to help those who are less fortunate with the knowledge I obtain.
All right. Thank you for introducing yourself to our audience. And now let's follow up with our first student panel topic. Now, the Sbcc Promise covers required fees, books, and supplies. How did the Sbcc Promise help you financially? And anybody can jump in.
I'll go ahead, yeah. the fact that there's free tuition, free textbooks, supplies, I even got a calculator for free, all of that, it meant for me that I didn't have to work to pay off like student loans while I was in college. I worked on campus a few hours a week just, to have a little bit of pocket change and stuff, just to, have flexible work hours and stuff. And so my academic performance never suffered. And when I took one quarter, I had a lot of harder classes, and I was sort of getting more into the thick of my major and finding what I was passionate about. And so when I was developing my focus and spending more time on those things, I was able to cut back my hours at work. And then eventually, I was able to stop it altogether when I had to focus on it. And I didn't have to worry about having to pay for anything else. So the promise just lifted the huge weight off my shoulders.
I could go next. I really don't think I could have afforded college without Promise because I couldn't rely on my parents' income. For the 2 years of Sbcc Promise helped me save up for after transferring. So right now my tuition is covered by Cal Grant, but for other college expenses and living expenses is all covered from the savings that I made from the past 2 years. So yeah, I'm very grateful for that.
I'll go next. The Promise program has allowed me to focus on my schoolwork without having to worry about the stress of paying for my tuition. And also I have been able to save some money up for when I transfer to a 4-year university.
Yeah, kind of like everyone said before, it's just taken a really big weight off my shoulders in terms of tuition and everything. I think to put a number on it, I've saved close to $2,000 on textbooks in the time I've been at Santa Barbara City College on the Promise. And I personally come from a pretty big family, so tuition's been something that's been on my mind for a couple of years now. And I think that the Promise has definitely taken a really big weight off my family's shoulders.
Similar to what everyone else said, I have had a very similar experience where it feels as though a weight's been lifted, and I've been fortunate enough to work while also attending this Santa Barbara City College, and I've been able to save up in preparation for transfer. So highly recommend.
Thank you for sharing. And now let's move forward with the next topic, which is the Santa Barbara City College Promise has 4 eligibility requirements: being a full-time student, applying for financial aid every year, meeting with an academic counselor every semester, and remaining in good academic standing. For those in the student panel tonight, how did this help you navigate higher education at Sbcc?
I mean, I think that initially what seems like restrictions that are like kind of designed to limit the entry, they're actually tools that ensure your success. For me, I think it's good practice to apply for financial aid every year because, like the California College Promise Grant application, the FAFSA, the California Dream Act application, all of those, regardless of whether it's required for a scholarship or for something, even if you get only a little bit of financial aid, why would you turn it down? So I think, when tuition's free, you want to make the most of it. You go and you enroll as a full-time student, which is what I did. And so when I did that, it sort of allowed me to take a variety of interesting classes. And so I was doing stuff that I probably wouldn't have taken if I was paying tuition, for every single unit that I was enrolled in. And so because I was able to take way more classes, I was able to graduate in just 2 years. And I had 2 associate's degrees and an honor certificate, which, that would have cost a ton of money without the Promise. So I think what people discover is that, the transition from high school to college it's hard. It's not easy by any means. It requires tenacity, it requires support from people. And so that's why having the academic counselor is just so important. Whenever you have confusion, or you get frustrated, or, you start to doubt your abilities, that's the time that you need to schedule a meeting with them and just talk. I mean, they're there for you. They're always going to help you out. I mean, technically you're required to meet with them once a semester, but if you're like me, I was on a first name basis with them by like the end of the last year. And so, I mean, it's the more you talk to them, the more motivated you feel, the more prepared you are to overcome any challenge you encounter. So, I mean, the last thing is remaining in good academic standing. And that basically means make your parents proud. So if you can do that, you should be happy as well. And that's just to guarantee that you're able to succeed in the right amount of time and you're not, delaying your own success. So yeah.
Wow, I think Sam covered most things. But yeah, I think for me, I didn't really think eligibility requirements are that demanding, and it sounds like a lot, but once you're in school, and also you get a reminder from Sergio every semester, so you can be on top of it. And for me personally, I took advantage of academic counseling the most, because I was considering different majors and different universities, and they all have different requirements, and it can be very complicated to navigate by yourself. There are resources online that you can use, but it doesn't mean that you can do everything so simply. So I would go see my academic counselors and ask even just simple questions, and they will help me out with planning, course plannings, and even like 2-year plannings. So my 2 years at Santa Barbara City College went pretty smooth in terms of taking classes. And I was really grateful that I didn't have to do all of it by myself. Yeah.
I'll go next. I think that all the requirements are really good to help you stay on track so that you finish on time. And the one that I've taken most advantage of is the full-time enrollment. I have gotten to take so many amazing courses that I've never thought I would be able to take or thought that I would even enjoy. So that's how that's helped me, and it's helped me grow as a person and as a musician as well.
Me personally, I definitely took the most advantage of academic counseling. I remember right before I began at Santa Barbara City College, I immediately went to the tag counselors, specifically Angela Warren. And I just asked her, what do I need to do to transfer? What are the classes I need to take? And I had a 2-year plan like that. And so the City College, I guess my journey at the City College was pretty smooth because of it. So I highly recommend taking advantage of all the opportunities that they have.
Yeah, I think everyone's kind of covered the most of it, but I think that all these requirements are really just building good practices that you can take into whether you transfer or not. I think meeting with your counselor keeps you on track, it keeps you accountable. And I know that people on the promise that I know personally have found themselves being more persistent and kind of motivated in continuing with their degree than people who maybe haven't been seeing their counselor, didn't even know they could see a counselor. All these resources that you kind of have to take advantage of where you're required to do.
Yes, it's all true. And I agree with every one of you. And moving forward, speaking about student services on campus, please share with us which student services or programs have you benefited from in general at Sbcc?
I worked at the Center for Equity and Social Justice. I'm not sure if it's changed its name or anything, but in the last 2 years since I've been there, but that was a wonderful, wonderful organization. I was able to do a lot of work for people who felt like they didn't have a safe space to go or somebody that they could talk to. And it was one of the most fulfilling things that I ever did, I mean, even in high school and stuff. So I would definitely recommend that. And then also clubs, there's so many clubs on campus. Obviously, this is when it opens up again. But as soon as you have the opportunity, horticulture, robotics, music, any kind of club you can join, even if it's, without friends, because you're going to meet people there that you're going to instantly hit it off with. So yeah. And then the number one thing that I recommend to students is to study abroad. Obviously, that's very difficult right now because of COVID, but as soon as, the pandemic is resolved and the travel ban is lifted, then I recommend studying abroad anywhere you can in the world. You're going to love it. It's going to change your life.
Speaking of study abroad, I was actually fortunate enough to participate in the study abroad program at the City College actually a year ago in February. So even though it was cut short due to COVID, it was one of the most amazing experiences, and I highly recommend it for every student. That being said, people on the promise, the City College covers your class fees and book fees while you're over there. So it's not like you go there and you have to pay for every single thing. No, they pay for your classes and your books. So it doesn't stop even though you're halfway across the world.
Something that I really took advantage of even before starting as a promise student was dual enrollment, which if you're in high school right now, you should definitely take advantage of. My situation might be like a little bit different than other people. I'm going to be a one-year transfer student, meaning that I'm doing 1 year full-time work before transferring to an institution as a junior. So I think that a lot of the resources at Santa Barbara City College, including the Transfer Academy, have definitely helped me kind of in my process, keeping me on track and just getting me ready to move on to the next level. And kind of along the lines of clubs and organizations, I was able to join the student government this year, which has been an absolutely incredible experience. I've gotten experience in local government. I've been able to kind of advocate for the community and the student body. And I think it was just a really fulfilling experience.
I have benefited from tutoring a lot, especially this year, because my music courses have become so demanding, and I was able to easily get in contact with a music tutor, and she is absolutely amazing and knowledgeable in all the musical topics. And I'm just so happy that I started the tutoring.
I like to talk about STEM Transfer Center. STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. I know there are STEM students out there in the listeners today, but if you go to Sbcc, definitely be a part of it because it really helps. They provide tutoring and they have studying spaces, and they also provide you with laptops so you can use it on campus. And they also have different events, and they also they inform you with a lot of different things, and that's what I'm most grateful for. Going to community college, I was a little worried about not being able to have experiences like research or internships, because it didn't seem very accessible for community college students compared to university students. So I reached out to Lorena at the STEM transfer program, and she added me to the email list, and I became a part of the program. And so I would receive some information about different research opportunities or internship opportunities or summer programs that was available for STEM students. And they would help you with application process as well. So I brought my essays that I needed to write for one of the internships, and then they would review the essay for me. And they also told me they can write me a letters of recommendations. Yeah, so they're really supportive. And yeah, thanks to that, last year I was able to find a summer internship from one of the emails I received from Lorena. So yeah, definitely take advantage of it.
Wow, what great experiences with student services and programs, and what diverse use of these programs, from a study abroad to the STEM Center and Transfer Center at Sbcc, not to mention the Diversity Equity Center, and of course the dual enrollment program. How can we go without that program at the local high schools? Now let's move forward with the next question, which is something I really want your opinion on, and because students ask all the time: is 2 years in the Sbcc promise adequate time to complete your educational goals at Sbcc?
To be completely honest, I think it really depends on how many credits you enter the city college with and your major. For example, if you're a STEM major, you're going to have more classes in general and just more difficult ones. So it's going to be a little bit more challenging if you don't have that many credits entering. However, there is always the opportunity with summer sessions and summer courses. I took advantage of that a lot just because as a full-time student, I found myself in the summer, especially this past summer with COVID, just kind of sitting here wondering, okay, what do I do with myself? And so I was just like, a light bulb went off and I was like, school. So I definitely recommend taking advantage of the summer classes and summer courses that the City College offers. So in my opinion, I think 2 years is fair. I think it's a good amount of time.
I agree that the 2 years is very adequate. I came into CC with credits done already from my junior and senior year of high school, but I also took summer classes, which are super beneficial because the summer sessions are paid for by the promise as well. So you don't have to worry about the fees or working and taking classes as well. So I think that 2 years is perfect.
So speaking from the perspective of a STEM major, it is true that you can, for me, it was enough, but I know a lot of my friends who needed about 3 or 4 years before transferring. So it really depends, as Anissa said, but, and also as Anissa said, it's very good idea to take summer courses. And I was able to finish within 2 years because I took a lot of units during the semester, and also I took summer courses. Nice thing about Promise is that it doesn't matter how many units you're enrolled in, or if it's in the summer. It still pays for all your tuition and all your books. And in fact, I had one summer, last semester I graduated, last year I graduated, but the summer after I graduated, I still had Promise covering my summer. So I was able to take some classes for fun, and I just took French. So yeah.
Très bien. Yeah, I took French in high school. I think dual enrollment is probably the best piece of advice I could give in terms of that. If you have that, those extra units under your belt when you go into it, that's a really great place to jump off from, because you're sort of, you have like the general ed stuff that's you've already started working on it, getting it out of the way, and you can start focusing more on preparing for your major. So I think if you act smart and you take care of the stuff that isn't that necessary beforehand, 2 years is plenty of time for you to sort of narrow down on your focus, find your passion, and prepare yourself, get used to the college environment so that when you transfer, you're good to go. You're assimilated and you know what to expect. So I think 2 years is the perfect amount of time. You're not like getting bored of it or getting confused or frustrated by the end of it. So
Yeah, I think just with the resources provided, I think that 2 years is a good amount of time to be completing your degree in, whether you do have credits or not. And I think the great thing about having an academic counselor is they can keep you on track. They can keep you within the range of units you need to be taking, leading you in the right direction. And I think that's kind of what makes it possible for most people to graduate in 2 years. But I do definitely know people that have finished earlier and finished a little bit later.
Yeah, I really value your personal opinion and professional opinion, I would say, now as college students and college graduates from Sbcc Promise. And I just want to also add on to what you all said and say, we do recognize that students do encounter some barriers, either academic, social, or career barriers when it comes to their journey at Sbcc. So although we all say 2 years may be adequate time depending on your strategy and your effort. We also know that there are scholarships such as those from the foundation, our foundation, Sbcc Foundation, also the external scholarships from various organizations, including our very own community partner, the Scholarship Foundation of Santa Barbara, which really mentioned and emphasized that although you're done with the promise in 2 years, you can apply for their scholarships as well during your third or fourth year, depending on your programs and major while you're at Sbcc. So we also want to let you all know that we have an accommodation for DSPS reduced unit load students, and we can talk more about that offline if you have more questions about that. Now let's move forward with the next question. I'm really excited about this one because it really touches on your future and your vision for yourself and your community. So let me ask you this question. What are your hopes and dreams or career aspirations?
For me, after I graduate from university, I would like to go to graduate school and study physics a little bit further and be a physics researcher, but I'm still looking into which field of physics I want to really look into. And then finally, after a little while of research, I really want to be a professor and be involved in community college education, because a lot of community college professors at Santa Barbara City College helped me in so many different ways, and I want to make the similar impact on students.
For me, I think my hope is very foundational. It's just to have a fulfilling job, a big family, and to travel as much as I can. That's my hope. My dream is to develop, don't take this, it's to develop a machine or a suit that allows you to fly on your own. No airplanes, no nothing like that. Just like, I was thinking like helium powered, something like that. We'll get there eventually. And then my career aspirations are to start my own company just so that I can be my own boss. I want to have control of my schedule, make all the important decisions. I don't really like working under people or feeling like I have to answer to people. I like making the decisions. So yeah.
My goals for the future include completing my bachelor's degree in piano performance. And I also plan to be a piano accompanist and accompany various instrumentalists and vocalists. And I also want to start my own piano business.
For me, I think kind of the direction I want to go towards is kind of in the finance sector, and maybe even in like the entertainment or music industry, which is why I wanted to go to USC. But I also kind of want to find something, a way to give back to the community on some level, like maybe philanthropy or something like that.
My personal educational goal, I guess, or dream would be obtaining a bachelor's, a master's, as well as hopefully a doctorate, and taking what I learned there to become a criminal psychologist and work alongside the behavioral analysis unit in the FBI. So yeah.
Thank you for providing us with an insight into your vision of yourself and your future self. We do have questions from the audience, and I'll go forward with our first question from an audience member that says, will the promise be available to 2023 high school grads? I will answer this one really quickly. Our hope is that we will continue to provide the Sbcc promise for generations to come. So that is my answer to that response. And as we continue to get more support from the community, we can continue moving forward with that as well. Now we have our second question from our audience members, and it's for the student panelists. How complex was the transfer process for those that have already been through it? What is one great tip you would offer for students considering a transfer? One thing you wish you knew before you did it.
I guess my main piece of advice would be just do your research pretty early on. You can never know too much about the process. I think that kind of having your deadlines down and really kind of road mapping your way to a four-year university beforehand can really help out and make the transition a little bit smoother. And definitely reaching out to the Transfer Academy will help you with the process.
I also would recommend knowing what you want to do. I know that's a very, it's a very difficult thing to ask, but have a vague idea. Don't go into it just like open-minded to anything, because it's going to take you a long time to settle. So go into it with a few reasonable options of what you want to pursue, and try to narrow them down from that point into something that you think you'd be comfortable and interested in pursuing. And once you have that, then you can choose the place that you want to go to, and you can apply to it, have a few backups. So just try to develop a focus is what I would suggest.
I wouldn't say transfer process is that complicated. I don't know how many of you in the listeners have applied for colleges as a freshman. I applied for as a freshman, and then also I decided to go to community college. So I did both processes, but it's really similar. A little difference is they ask you what major specifically you want to go into when you transfer. So that would be different. But when I apply as a freshman, I realized I really didn't have much experience other than academics. I had a little bit of extracurriculars, but that's how you make difference from other applicants. So I really I recommend you get involved in different events or different clubs on campus if you decide to go to community college. And another thing is, I was gonna say something else, but okay, I'll remind you if I remember. And also try to plan out at the very beginning if you start community college. So 2-year plan will really help you transition smoothly. So that's another thing.
All right, thank you.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, something I want to say really quickly. I have just finished my transfer applications for certain universities, and what I've noticed is for the UC applications, they don't require letter of recommendation, but quite a few private schools and out-of-state universities do. So I'd really, really recommend just keeping an eye out when you're taking classes at the city college and really bond with your professors, because not only will it help you transfer, but it also help you in the long run. You know, if you're looking for jobs or, you know, just want to stay in touch with them, it really, really helps. So I'd recommend definitely looking into that.
One thing I just remember what I was going to say. So I was a part of TAP Transfer Achievement Program, and they have campus field trips, and that was really, really helpful because I was wondering which UCs or CSUs I wanted to apply for, and they had field trips for free. It's all paid, and meals and everything is covered. So I went on, I think, 2 field trips with them, and I was able to see different campuses and feel different vibes. I know it's time of COVID, so I don't know what's going to happen in near term, but if it happens again, I really recommend visiting campuses and feeling that student environment of being a student there.
Yeah, I really thank you all for sharing about that process because it could be daunting. I myself was so surprised with the whole process, and I was glad that the community college that I attended also made it easy on the process of applying. And speaking of different vibes, a question from the audience that I will answer myself is, with complete your secondary education within the Sbcc district, is there a minimum amount of years you had to attend a secondary school? So that is a interesting question. I want to reiterate that we only have 2 requirements for students to be able to sign up for the Sbcc Promise, and that is 1, to graduate from a local high school or the equivalent within the Sbcc district, and 2, to enroll within the first year, which is your first or second semester immediately after graduation from your secondary school, the equivalent. So with that said, we don't really track how many years a student has attended a local school, but our assumption is that students who are locally graduating have lived here and are part of the community. But we do recognize that sometimes some families move in from out of town, from out of the state. Maybe it could be because one of their parents got a new job in the area. And we recognize because of that, we make it our requirement that students must graduate from a local school, not necessarily spend 3 or 4 years. But there are California residency requirements that are a whole different topic, and the Admissions and Records Office can help you determine that. We do have a question about TAP and TAG. I will defer to the transfer center at Sbcc, but it's TAP is a program, transfer achievement program, and the transfer academy program at Sbcc. TAG is a transfer admission guarantee program that is available through various universities in the state of California. And we'll provide that we'll type that question, that response to your question soon. But I do have one more question for our student panelists tonight, and that is, please provide your last words of wisdom for our students, for our families, for those that are thinking about being an Sbcc Promise student, and for those that are currently in the Sbcc Promise.
This kind of applies when campus opens back up, but I would say get to the parking lot early and pay attention to where you park, because parking is, you know what I mean? It's very expensive if you get a parking ticket and the parking lot fills up like that. You have to be there literally half an hour before the class starts. Aside from that, I would say join the honors program. I did it and I joined the conference at the end of the year. I submitted an essay, I won $500. Not that you're going to win $500 if you join, but just it's a wonderful program, very fulfilling. You'll meet a lot of great professors and people. There's a lot to do there.
My last words of wisdom would have to be to take advantage of all the things that the Promise program provides, all the tutoring and extracurricular activities or studying abroad. I think just taking advantage of all the activities and clubs that CC has to provide would be awesome.
Something I just want to say really quickly, and I'm sure my fellow panelists can agree, is especially when I was going through high school, there was just such a huge stigma around going to a city college, you know? And I just want to tell everyone who's listening, it's not true, okay? Quite a few people I know who went immediately to a four-year university came back because they didn't like it and went to the city college. So don't listen to what people are saying, or don't follow with that stigma, because it's not true, and it's an amazing opportunity. It's free school for 2 years. Who wouldn't want that, right?
Yeah, I guess kind of like everyone else said, really take advantage of all the resources that you're given. On the same note as the parking thing, there's also a carpool pass, so take advantage of that. And yeah, just really have fun at City College. It's a wonderful school. It's a great location, and there's so many people there, and you'll get to meet people from like all walks of life. And I think that's definitely one of my favorite parts from being a student at Sbcc.
Yeah, totally agree with what Anissa said. So I applied as a freshman and I thought I didn't want to go to community college because it was community college, and I thought I wanted to go to university, but I'm so glad that I went to Santa Barbara City College. But one of the reasons I think I enjoyed my life at Santa Barbara City College was because I was pretty involved in different things. So I would say be involved in any way. You can be a part of clubs, or you can go to events. You can be a tutor, or there are so many ways to be involved, but be active, and that would open up so many connections to people and open up friendships. And it's so fun to see people around campus that you know. It's not a very huge college, so just by walking around, you'll see many people if you're involved, and that really makes you feel a part of community. And yeah, it just opens up a lot of opportunities. So please be involved.
Yes, I believe everyone was able to provide their words of wisdom, their final pieces of advice to our audience. And I just want to take the moment to thank each and every one of you in the student panel, all of our presenters that were able to talk about the resources at Sbcc and their community organizations. I want to give huge thanks to Ali for helping us out with the logistics tonight. I want to give a shout out to every single person out here and for really emphasizing the importance of going to Santa Barbara City College and taking advantage of the opportunity to meet your educational goals here at Sbcc with participating in the Sbcc Promise.